Hello, Lions, and welcome to Tasty Thursday, February 29th, and also Leap Year Day. I'm Mr. Garcia, your assistant principal, and there's no place I'd rather be than right here on this campus, especially today because it's Tasty Thursday. That means that our second and sixth grade teachers are preparing a little feast for other staff members, and we thank you so much, second and sixth grade teachers. Our second grade teachers, Mrs. Carlson, Miss Michaela, Mrs. Messick, and Mrs. Papo, and our sixth grade teachers, Mrs. Williams, Mr. Malley, and Mr. Bang. Thank you very much, all of you. And so, teachers, thank you very much for getting your lunch counter and attendance in. Always really appreciate that. So, what is leap year? Well, it's a very, very long explanation, but I'll try to shorten it for you, Lions. Leap year is when we put 29 days in February instead of just 28. Now, I say we, but that's just how the calendar works. The people who came up with the calendar, it's called the Gregorian calendar. It came around in 1582, and it replaced the previous calendar, which was a little bit off on the calculations. Bottom line is that if you don't add that day every 4 years, then your whole system is going to get off, and eventually it's going to be freezing in the summer and it's going to be sunny in the winter. You know, it'll take a while to get there, but actually every year we have 365 days in a year, and on leap year we have 366 because we add February 29th. Well, that's because there's actually about 365 and a quarter of a day. Well, you can't just add a quarter of a day. How could you just add a quarter of a day? It's got to be a full day. So instead of trying to add a quarter of a day every year, which is impossible, we add one full day every 4 years, because a quarter plus a quarter, if you think of a quarter, 25 cents, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those makes $1. So those 4 quarters, we just add them all up, and on the fourth year, every fourth year, we add an extra day. Kind of a long explanation, but it kind of keeps things going right. And even that is not the full story, but that's a big part of the story right there. Okay. Spring Book Fair is going to be March 11th to March 15th. More information to come. Roar cards. Let's take a look at some roar cards. First one is for David and Mrs. Papo's class. David did a great job standing in line during our drill. Heart, Mrs. Papo. David, so proud of you. Another one from Mrs. Papo for Evan. Evan has been doing a great job expressing his emotions in a positive way. Awesome. Knowing your emotions is knowing yourself, and knowing yourself is the key to happiness. Mrs. Papo, you got a heart there from Mrs. Papo. Good job, Evan. The next one is for Dresden in Mrs. Magana's class. Thank you, Dresden, for your kindness when you stopped to see if a friend was okay. Heart, Mrs. Williams. Okay, I know that's from Mrs. Williams, but Dresden is in Mrs. Magana's class. In any case, Dresden, you're the man. Great job. The next one is for Rosalie in Mrs. Papo's class. Rosalie is always willing to help around the class and keeps a positive attitude. Heart, Mrs. Papo. Great job, Rosalie. Okay, very good. Big Buddies, Little Buddies for the second semester, as you know, is coming to an end this Friday, but due to the success of this great program, we are going to be restarting that for the third trimester. Again, stay tuned for announcements on that. Now, tune into me here for a minute. I've got a note about this big to read about Read Across America. And I'm going to try to get through this quickly and so you can understand it, okay? Read Across America starts Monday, March 4th. That's going to be next Monday, okay? So coming up in a few days, we're going to have a weekend. We're going to come back. Okay, so on that day, students from 2nd through 6th grade are going to be going between their classroom and the library, but you got to be checking in with your teacher. It's not just a free-for-all where everybody just goes at their leisure. No, you need to be checking in with your teacher, but it's a day when we're going to be having a lot of movement, okay? Now, the point is that that's going to be starting at around 8:30, and students will get 2 to 3 books, and then you'll take them back to your class, get all comfortable, you know, find a nice place in the room to sit. There's sometimes a couch, a pillow, a little lamp. I've seen some rooms that really have some very fantastic accommodations. I'm going to call it accommodations like that because that's what they are. And so if you have that, great. And so 2 to 3 books. So take your time reading and take your time with your AR quiz. There's no rush. You're not in a competition. Only with yourself, only with your very best that you can give. Okay, so there's no other competition going on. So Go and do that. So teachers, if you have any questions, please see Mrs. Worm about that. She will have the answers for you. We also have a lot of volunteers this year, so Mrs. Worm will have a schedule out ASAP. That means as soon as possible. Anyway, so PBIS today, respect. What are the three words, Lions? Lions all together now. 1, 2, 3. Respectful, responsible, safe. Let's do it one more time. Respectful, responsible, safe. Excellent. Okay, so safe, walking in the hallways. I've been seeing some good walking in the hallways. I've also been seeing some classes out at lunch. Well, the weather's getting better, so you're able to get out at lunch and look at how our cafeteria staff, how our custodial staff, how our yard duty staff, everybody is taking care of you, making sure that you can sit outside on these nice days. We make that possible for you because we love you that much. So please give that love back to us by staying quiet when you're out in the hallways, because you're right by classrooms, by picking up your things and throwing them in the garbage can, your tray when you're done, by leaving in a slowly and carefully and not trying to trip over anybody like that. Okay, so show us that you are responding to the love that we show you by doing it, by giving us that back. And those are the ways that you can do it. Okay, so all right. Birthdays. We're still in February and nobody has a birthday today, and good thing, because there was a play called The Pirates of Penzance where a guy was actually born on leap year. And so after something like 16 years, he was only 4 years old. So very good play, Pirates of Penzance. If you ever get a chance to see that, it should be fun. It would be very fun. Real cute story. Okay, staff birthdays. No staff birthdays today either. Next birthdays are going to be coming up in March. And lunch menu. What's on the lunch menu for today? Today being Thursday, looks like pepperoni and cheese pizza. Very good, pepperoni and cheese pizza. I don't know if we're going to have any Parmesan or crushed red pepper to put on that. Who knows? Let's see. So, what did the police officer say to his belly button? Or her belly button? What did the police officer say to his or her belly button? You're under a vest. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so everybody stand up for the flag salute, Pledge of Allegiance. Hats off, hoods off, everybody. Hats off, hoods off, all standing up. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Lions, great job. Make sure that you are here every day. Don't miss school, because when you miss school, right, you miss out. Don't miss school. Be here every day. Give us 100%. We'll give you 100%. And remember, the world is a different place. The world is a better place because you're in it. So have a great day, Lions, and we'll see you around.